Hey, welcome back everybody. So this is just going to be a very quick mid-November follow-up to the previous video, which was November 6th. So hey, today is Saturday, November 18th. It's just after 12:30. Temperature's about 75 degrees, humidity is about 57%, and I will be checking on the hives with bricks on top of them, which were the hives from the early November inspection, if you didn't happen to catch that one. So hive number 2, and then as we come down here, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not the number of the hives, but just the quantity that have bricks on top, as you can see. So 5 in total that I was unable to find the queen about 2 weeks ago. So obviously the reason I'm out here is to check on them to see if they are queen right, and I just happened to overlook her during the last inspection, and if they are in fact not queen right, I will most likely be combining those hives with the hives that are queen right, and at the same time I'll be checking on some food stores and most likely adding some sugar using the mountain camp method. I always want to say like mountain top or something. Anyway, you just take granulated sugar, pour it on top of the inner cover, so in between the inner and the outer cover, and the bees will use that for emergency food purposes. So rather quick introduction. Again, out here to do some very specific things, which again are just to check on those 5 hives that I marked with a brick on top of the outer cover that I could not find the queen last time, and then provide some food if needed. All right, down here at hive number 1, so I do remember they were queen right during the last inspection about 2 weeks ago. They weren't really doing all that well, didn't have a lot of food stores. So again, with the mountain camp feeding method, I'm just gonna sprinkle some granulated sugar on top of the inner cover, but I'm always curious regarding how fast a hive consumes provided food. So this is just your typical ball mason jar. This is a pint, and I filled it up with 12 ounces of granulated sugar, so I can kind of keep track just how quickly or slowly a hive consumes the sugar I'm providing. So this is what I'm talking about. So it's as simple as this. This is also a first for me. I've actually never done this before. I usually provide candy boards, and I have a how-to video on building them and a recipe. So again, it's November 18th. This is 12 ounces for a nuke, a 5 frame, and I will check back in probably another 2 weeks just to see how much of the provided sugar is remaining. All right, moving along, this is the hive in the very next position, hive number 2, which throughout the week, because I come out here and just kind of watch the hive entrances, but throughout the week, the entrance activity has been pretty busy. But last week, or actually during the last inspection, I did not find a queen, which is why I marked them with a brick. So they have a decent amount of bees, that hasn't changed. I'm just going to take my time, go through the top box, and if I can find the queen, fantastic, or obviously signs of her. If not, just like last time, I'll move down into the bottom box. And again, like I said in the introduction, if they are truly queenless, I need to make a decision, because even though the weather's nice today, we will have some cold weather eventually coming our way, and once it gets too cold, it's honestly too late to do anything. So stay tuned, and I'll show you anything worth showing. All right, this is frame number 4 in the top box, and what I wanted to show you is all the wet cells. So mid-November, and they are finding some kind of food source. All right, quite a few wet frames in the top box. Some capped honey, not too much, so I'll supplement them some granulated sugar as well. But again, like usual, show you the bottom box real quick. It looks like pretty solid 3 to 4 frames of bees, but nonetheless, we'll go through them and Let's see what we can determine. All right, so not very surprising. Nothing has changed in the last 2 weeks with hive number 2. So since hive number 2 is in very close proximity with hive number 1, I am going to take the best 2 to 3 frames, mainly the queen from hive number 1, and add it to hive number 2. I'll show you as much as I can show you without making too long of a segment of this video, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The bees are surprisingly calm in comparison to last time. From what I remember, they're starting to get a little agitated, but that also might be because the hive's been open now for about 5 minutes. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Combine 1 and 2, call it a day, and at least I can get, between these two, I can get 1 queen right, and with the amount of bees that hive number 2 has, they stand a better chance of surviving our winter months here. All right, so here we go. I got number 1's queen right here. I'm gonna take the better of a few frames that they have, with this being one of them. This is where the queen was found. I'm gonna put the more empty frames to the outside, put the better frames towards the center, since that's where they will naturally cluster. With this one being from number 1, and put this in the number 2 position. Alright, there we go. We'll make 1 good hive out of 2, which is always to be determined as long as they accept the queen. I'm gonna grab the top box, get them combined, release the queen, which I'll show you that, and that'll be it for this one. All right, here we go. We're gonna release number 1's queen into what is now number 2. Move 2 frames over from number 1 to the best frames. I'll provide them some sugar. Show you that here in a second once she gets out of here. All right, there she goes. This is your new home. All right, so as I finished up with number 2, I quickly discovered a flaw in my plan today with the mountain mountain camp feeding is with the migratory covers. So because there's no inner cover, I don't have the ability to provide any sugar to them with the mountain camp method. So that's just something I'm gonna have to figure out. Same thing for number 3. Number 4 does have a external cover, telescoping external cover and an inner cover, so I'm gonna feed them here in a second. I already have 1 mason jar ready, and that's something I did not say when I fed number 1, which already changed, is with the 10 frames, I plan on giving them 2 12-ounce mason jars, so 24 ounces of granulated sugar, and then keeping track to see how long it takes them to consume that amount. This should be pretty quick. I mean, all I'm doing is feeding them some granulated sugar, like I said. So try to put 12 ounces on each side of the inner cover, see how much space that takes up. All right, there you go. And then give them 12 ounces more, and that would be it. So seems like you can get 24 ounces inside a inner cover here. And some bees up here that are about to get coated in sugar. All right, there we go. Yeah, kind of smooth out some high spots with the hive tool here. Right, down here at hive number 6, so I had them marked with a brick, meaning I could not find the queen last week, but I did make a note on the outer cover, and it says November 6th, 3 frames of goldenrod honey. So they have a pretty nice food supply. I just need to go through them again this week and see if I can find a queen, signs of the queen, and if not, that just gives me something else to figure out so they can survive the winter. So just like the previous inspection, very second frame, nice food stores. It's got some weight to it. The bees are very calm, which is one of the reasons why I chose not to do anything last week. Because when a hive is usually pretty calm, that means they have a queen. It's just a matter of finding her. Again, which is why I chose not to do anything last week, meaning combining the hives. So I'm just gonna take my time, see if I can find her or any evidence of her. The hive smells great. This goldenrod honey, it has a very distinct and very pleasant smell to it. But yeah, now I just wanted to show you all some food frames. The bees have undoubtedly stored away some very nice food. They just need to be queen right in order to make it to the spring, which is why I'm out here again in November. Just a quick look into the bottom box. So I did not find the queen in the top box, and it looks like kind of similar to maybe number 2. They have about 3 to 4 frames of decent bees. So about to get through them and keeping my fingers crossed, but I might have to combine another hive here shortly. And this is exactly why people say, if you're unsure, just wait a week. So there she is, right in the center. I'm on the very third frame, so they are going right back together, and that's it. No further action required. So I am glad I waited a week, and I'm glad I came back out here just to double check. So that is very satisfying to see. They have a queen. They have very nice food stores. I'm still gonna give them just one mason jar of 12 ounces of sugar. Even though they have some decent food stores, maybe they'll put it to use and just further enhance their stores for the winter. All right, down here at hive number 8, which is the second, now the only 5 frame I have in the yard. And you can't really tell right now, I mean kinda, but earlier this week, maybe, let's see, today's Saturday, maybe 2 days ago, the front entrance was booming with bees. I mean, I kid you not, a ton of bees, which has made me very curious to get back out here this week and see what they have going on. So, quick first look, but like usual, I'm just gonna go through the frames. If they have a queen, fantastic. If not, that just gives me something else to do. And 9 and 10 are the last 2 hives marked with bricks. Again, meaning I was not able to find the queen last week, but just like you saw in number 6, I think we just did, they were queen right. I just didn't find the queen last week. So patience is one of the many key attributes when keeping bees. So anyway, let's get into them and see if they are queen right. And again, if not, that just gives me something to think about here. All right, yeah, so no real change from last week. I can't really explain the increase in entrance activity. I mean, one of the thoughts is maybe they were getting robbed out, but there's really not too many signs of that being, well, of that occurring, because when a colony gets robbed out, there's usually a ton of debris on the bottom board from the robber bees coming in and just eating a lot of the food stores, but it really doesn't seem like that was the case. So I guess the good thing is this one is right next to the next one that I determined is queenless last week. So at least the bees that are orientated to this entrance, I'll show you again, these bees here, at least they won't have far to go to orientate to their new home, which could be next door if I end up combining them. So this is odd too. You can see that the bees sticking their rear up in the air. That is usually because they are circulating the queen's pheromone, which I clearly do not see. So a lot of odd stuff going on with number 8 here, but I might go through them one more time real quick. Not too many frames to go through and not too many bees, so I'd be shocked if I was overlooking the queen, but it might be worth one more look before I combine them with number 9, which is right next door. All right, you guessed it, right next door at number 9, right next to number 8, which we just got done. Some quick smoke, but yeah, I determined they were queenless earlier this month, so here we are again, just double checking because it can't hurt. And as y'all saw with number 6, they actually turned out to have a queen. So I'm just going to go through these 10 frames and hopefully I can find their queen. Well, there you have it, folks. Look at her too. She is big and beautiful. So hive number 9, queen right. No further action. Another quick look. So let's get everything put back together. Not trying to cause any additional problems. So, all right, I am very happy I came back out here. All right, so there we go, number 9. So I'm going to give them some food. I'll give them 24 ounces, and that'll be it for this one. All right, down here at 10, which does not have a lot of entrance activity, but have no fear, as soon as you pop the lid, here's all the bees. So again, same thing. Only reason I am getting into them is because I was unable to find the queen earlier this month, but as you can see so far, sometimes it's worth taking the time to make another visit, because I've only had to combine one hive due to being queenless. So, well, as I say that, I plan on combining number 8 as well. It's just a matter of finding a good candidate for number 8. But let me get through this hive first, figure out if they have a queen or not, and then we'll figure out some plans here in a second. But just to show you all this in the meantime, so again, demeanor very calm. They're moving very slow, and they have some wet cells, so they are still finding some food source. And not to mention, they have a very nice population of bees, so I would be surprised if they're actually queenless, but you can't tell until you go through them, which is why I'm here again. All right, stay tuned, and hopefully we're able to find the queen. All right, there's only one reason I'm down in the bottom box, and that's because I did not find the queen in the top box. So similar to some of the other hives, it looks like they have at least 3, maybe 4 decent frames of bees. So again, quick look at the bottom box, about to go through them. They are very calm, which makes me believe they have a queen. So that is not the only sign, but one of many, but you can never tell until you actually go through them. So here we go. And there you have it, folks, right on frame number 5. Yeah, she's doing just fine. All right, well, I am more than happy I decided to come back out here this week. This definitely puts my mind at ease, knowing the hives that I thought were queenless last week, in fact, have a queen. Top box has some nice weight to it. It's a little lighter than I would like, so I'm gonna give them some sugar, and that's it for this one. All right, just to show y'all how I'm finishing up this week. So back to number 8, removed all the frames, shook all the bees off the frames, just to see if the queen was hanging out on the bottom somewhere. And I understand this will probably not come up on video, but I do not see a queen at all. So very confusing as to why the bees are fanning how they're fanning. But what I'm thinking is I am just gonna take the bees that are here on the bottom board and bang them into number 7 right here. So at least these bees won't die, because they don't have any food stores and they don't have a colony because they don't have a queen. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Just one last look before you can't really go back, and that might be a better look for y'all with the sun hitting it. But yeah, no queen. Not sure what they're up to, but give number 7 a boost, and then I'll slide number 7 over just a little, so the bees that were orientated to number 8's location, which you can see they're already coming back to, and number 7's bees, I'll just move 7 over just maybe half a foot or so, and things will settle over the next few hours. And this is what I'm talking about for anybody that ever combines a hive. Just kind of move the two close to each other, split the difference, and they'll all find their way home. All right, there you have it, folks. It is just about 2 o'clock. Out here for just shy of 90 minutes. Ended up combining number 1, which was one of the 5 frames, and number 8, which was the other 5 frames. So currently I do not have any 5 frames. They are all 10 frames. All but 2 have a medium box on top with some decent food stores. And then something that I've never done before, I have never fed any of the colonies sugar, purely granulated sugar, with the mountain camp method. I've made candy boards in the past. I have fed 2-to-1 sugar water, and honestly both of those methods are rather tedious. Mixing sugar water, sugar syrup has become one of those things that I don't really get any joy out of. It's more of a chore than anything, and making candy boards is even more of a chore than making syrup. So quick look, if you can see that tall stack of white boxes over here, this is like my supply yard. But yeah, those are all the candy boards I have made and used in the past, and I've decided not to this year. Hopefully that does not bite me in the butt. But the feeding that y'all just saw with the mountain camp method with the granulated sugar on top of the inner covers, I went to point to this one, but like I mentioned during that video, it has a migratory cover, and so does the next one. So I don't really have a way or a means to feed any of the colonies with migratory covers, which is these 2, and there's one more down there. So that is something else I need to figure out for the season. But yeah, combined number 1, which was over here. A few bees still flying around. That's completely normal. They'll settle down and they'll find a home here shortly. But yeah, took number 1's queen, added her to number 2. 3 was fine, I believe 4 was fine. There was a few that, as y'all saw, I had marked about 2 weeks ago with a brick because I could not find the queen during that inspection. And then I found the queen in every single one. So they are actually doing extremely well. Minus number 8, which they were acting rather odd. I dumped the bees, as you all saw a few minutes ago, into I think number 9, I guess, or actually 8 was there, so number 7. And we'll see what happens. They should settle down. Gave number 7 a boost. But yeah, all the other ones are looking pretty good. I just need to find 1, 2, and maybe 3 more entrance reducers for, what do we have? 7, 8, so what used to be 9, so 10, 11, and 12. The last 3, I need to find some entrance reducers just to close them up. But honestly, even with the cold temps and the sub-freezing temps, having a wide open entrance, they have done just fine. So maybe it doesn't affect as much as the textbooks and other beekeepers make us believe. But yeah, hey, that does it for me. I'm keeping my veil on because there's quite a few bees flying around right now. But yeah, that's all, folks. Hey, Thanksgiving's around the corner, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hopefully you spend it with some family and friends and enjoy the holiday and give thanks for the things that, you know, you're thankful for. Me, family, friends, and bees. Yeah, so tune in after the holidays. I'll be out here, or try to be out here maybe early December on any warm days, which days like today in the mid 70s is not uncommon at all for us here in Jacksonville, North Carolina, which is part of the coastal plain. It does get cold and it stays cold, but it doesn't stay cold for too long. We've had snow before. We've had snow every year since we moved here in 2015, except for maybe 1 year. And hey, I'll close this video by saying this. We still have some of our honey bottled and ready for purchase from this year's harvest, which actually had 2 harvests. I had one at the end of June and one at the end of July. I did plan on trying to harvest some goldenrod, but after looking at the hives and the very few frames that had harvestable goldenrod honey, I decided just to leave it for the bees this year. But if you didn't see the last video or watch the last video, I did try some for myself, and it is truly unique and delicious. So maybe I'll bottle some next year if we're fortunate enough. But yeah, if you're looking for any honey, on the YouTube banner, the only link that is there is our link tree. Just click on that, it'll take you over to our site, and the very first link, it says honey for sale. That will take you over to our Square site, which is where and how we sell our honey. So being an active duty Marine and my schedule being rather busy and Jennifer being busy with the kids, we sell our honey by appointment only, mainly so we know when folks are coming by the house. We'll set out your order on our porch, and that way we don't miss anybody, and anybody that is interested in purchasing some of our honey can get some. We've been doing that for a few years now, and we think it works pretty well. When we weren't doing it, we'd have folks make appointments without any sort of payment, and then they wouldn't come by. It would waste our time, and some folks would come by unexpectedly and we weren't home. So we were missing a lot of customers, which is why we switched to the appointment only, and it seems to work well. So hopefully y'all can understand. All right, one last look at the yard, and this will conclude my time in the bees for November. All right, catch y'all next time.